This is going to be my birth story. My son is a month old today, actually. He was born on March 10th. So that day was kind of fun, exciting, but really crazy. I actually went to a country concert that day, kind of my last hurrah as a mom. But I mean, I probably danced a little more than I should have. Got home, jumped in the shower. It was like 12:30 or so. And hey, excuse me. Get up there, it's nap time. It was like 12:30 or so. I got out of the shower, got dressed, everything. There was an eyeliner that I had dropped on the floor. I bent down to get it, got up, whoosh, my waters were flowing out of me. Mind you, this is my first time ever having a baby. And I was like, did I just pee on myself? Or did my water just break at 37 weeks and 6 days? So, I was kind of scared, upset, sad. And the reason for that is because his father were together, but him and his friend actually went back to our hometown, which was 15 hours away, with the truck to visit and everything because they had a funeral to go to, and they didn't expect me to go into labor so early, even though I was 9 months pregnant. So he wasn't there for the birth. And at this point, I still wasn't feeling any pain. They came in, I grabbed all my stuff. I was kind of frantic, make sure I had everything, make sure I had my charger. I had to change my clothes, had to put on a pad, everything. Still leaking. So much water. Oh my goodness. We got in the ambulance, they asked to carry my stuff. I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm great, I'm good. We got there, they checked me. They tested me to make sure it was my water and I didn't pee on myself. And of course, my water did break. So then I got admitted. I was only at 2 centimeters, which I was at 2 centimeters at my last doctor's appointment on that Tuesday. And it was, I believe, Sunday. I believe it was Sunday, maybe. Yes. Sunday or Monday. But anyways, I was at a 2, and then I had jumped a couple hours later to a 4, and then when they checked me again, I was still at a 4, but the baby was lower. And because my water had been broke since 3 o'clock or so in the morning, all the way till, I want to say 1 o'clock or so, that they had to put me on Pitocin. Or maybe it was 12 or so before that. They had to put me on Pitocin. So then my contractions started hitting. I was in so much pain. And let me tell you, before this being my first time, I was like, oh, if the pain's not too bad, I'm not going to get an epidural. I'm just going to breathe through it as best as I can. Oh my goodness, no. The pain was so bad that I was like, give me this epidural right now. I signed the paper in advance before this point. Give me the epidural right now. By this point, I don't know, maybe I was at a 6 or so. The anesthesiologist came in. He started getting everything together, started putting it in. Pain was so bad. So bad. I could not bear it any longer. Baby, it's nap time. I couldn't bear it any longer at all. The pain was so bad. So he was getting it in, and I had to stay so still. They had me hold on to, I don't know, this. I heard that sometimes they have you hold nurses, but it wasn't. It was a stand. So I had to wrap myself like this around the stand and just stay there. And the contractions, I had like 3-4 of them before he even started. Okay, so he got it in, and then I started feeling the tingling, the numbness in my right leg, but I could still feel in my left. And he got it, and then they checked me, and fully dilated. I jumped from what they knew, a 4, all the way to a 10. So I had jumped all the way from a 4 to a 10, like I said. And this is my first birth. They were like, oh, we gotta start pushing. The doctor wasn't even in there yet, and it wasn't even my doctor. So we started pushing, and the baby, he started coming fast. I want to say my birth was only like an hour of pushing. Yes, an hour of pushing. And I did have a small tear. And yes, I did poop on myself, I'm pretty sure. But for my first time, it went really well. I could feel the pressure in my butt. Like, I could tell he was sitting right there, right down there. He was just sitting there, his head. I could feel it. It wasn't painful. I felt the pressure, and I just felt it, like I had a softball in my crotch, you know? So I did tear a little bit, but not very much. And we can get into postpartum after that. But then he was born, and the emotions really hit me of his father not being there, but we ended up being able to FaceTime with his family behind him and everything. But it was still so emotional. I cried the whole time. And then when they got him out and they put him on my chest, oh my God, I bawled. That is the best feeling you will ever feel in your life. That is the most love I've ever felt. Like, I was the happiest ever. Like, this was my little baby. This baby was in my stomach for 9 months, and now he's here. Mind you, this was my little cone-headed baby. My cone-headed baby boy. He had the worst cone head ever, but I absolutely loved him so much. So that is my birth story. It wasn't ideal. It was really emotional, up and down. I basically was there by myself, no family, nothing, because we moved so far away from our family, and he wasn't able to be there. He was so upset that he couldn't make it, but he ended up being there after the baby was born, and he was in the hospital. He was tired and exhausted from the drive. But honestly, I would do it again. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. I also forgot that I ended up having to get on oxygen because based on my positioning and when I would go like to the bathroom, get up and go to the bathroom, his heart rate would drop down, so they put me on oxygen. I think that is the only complication, really. But other than that, he was born at 3:08, and I started pushing at 2 something. So, very fast for my first time, and I don't want to say, this is a disclaimer, I am not a medical doctor, nothing. I just want to say I think this is what worked for me, and I tried it, and I was taking, I was taking gels of, Evening Primrose, yes, Evening Primrose gels, and I started taking them after 37 weeks, or the very end of 36 weeks. I started taking them, and I definitely think that's why my birth was so smooth, So please subscribe to my video. Let me know if you want to see more. I really enjoy making these, and it's kind of a learning experience. So if you want to see my postpartum experience, because let me tell you, for a first-time mom, it was actually not that scary. Like and subscribe. Thank you.